Hey, you guys said that you like the coffee talks, but I don't have coffee now. I only have this whitish liquid, so I'm gonna drink that. So, why am I never ever going to quit Linux after I switched from Windows many years ago? Before we start, I want to know why you clicked on this video. Please tell me that in the comments right now. I just want to know, what do you expect from this? And then if you have the energy, just comment on your own comment later and tell me what you think afterwards. But no pressure. Like, just take some white or red liquid. By the way, I hate the white version of this. I don't know, is it safe to talk about ethanol beverages on YouTube? Anyway, I prefer the red version, but I don't have any. Anyway, no pressure, take your favorite drink and let's talk. So, what was the topic? It totally didn't take me 2 minutes to remember. Why I'm never going to quit Linux. I am forever married to the idea of open source. I cannot imagine going back to another system. I don't trust other operating systems like Mac OS or Windows. I don't trust big corporations. I don't like their graphical user interface. I just think they're fucking ugly. I also like the idea that I can just switch between distributions whenever I want. I don't ever really do that. I just use Debian all the time, and I've had XFCE for, I don't know, 7 years or so. But just the possibility of having that is cool. And there is not such a broad variety of system configurations and looks and feels on other platforms. But most of all, I like the opportunities that Linux gives me. Frankly, there is just no such thing as, for instance, Kali Linux. Kali Linux is so easy to use if you want to hack shit or do testing or whatever they call it, and then the white hat spectrum, I guess. So there's just no system like it outside of Linux. Or if I want to compare Debian with the Windows I used before, I would have such a hard time to make Windows do what my Debian does, for it to be as straightforward, to use the terminal in the way I do. I mean, yeah, you have PowerShell and you can do all sorts of stuff in Windows as well if you want to, but it never really feels like a real TTY. It feels graphics heavy, it feels clicky, and it feels slow. Even on fast machines, I just think that all the bloatware is just weighing Windows down visually, and that I just find it annoying and overwhelming. I don't like the glossy look. I like the look of Windows 95, so I enjoyed this plain and gray and boring look, and everyone's like, oh, XFCE is so ugly if you don't tweak it. Personally, I am going for that look. I want that weird, flat, grayish, ugly look. I just enjoy it. That is one thing. And if you have seen my why I switched to Linux video, then you know I mostly did because I wanted a transparent terminal because I'm a fucking dork. But yeah, back then. Now, that's not like the most important thing to me, 100%, I promise. But back then, it was like, oh, it has a cute terminal. I can do stuff in the terminal. It's cute. And I just wanted to do that because I hated clicking all along. Moreover, I do not like the structure of Windows in particular. I just don't enjoy the way that you have to navigate through system settings and that kind of stuff. The Windows registry, to me, oh my god, the Windows registry, that is a portal to hell, and it's no fun to make a Windows more private. It's hell of annoying. It's very annoying to deactivate all these services that spy on you to improve Windows. I have done all that in the past. I was really a Windows power user, if you want to call it that. I like getting Windows to do exactly what I wanted. I also had a lot of software that I really enjoyed. For instance, I was a long-term Adobe user, and sometimes I do miss the Creative Suite. But the Creative Suite, being as awesome as it is, I still, from the bottom of my heart, I'm saying I will never go back. There is no software that could be so awesome that I would go and leave Linux. No way. I mean, I'm putting up with Blender when I could have Premiere Pro. Blender for video editing. At this point, I'm pretty much resistant to any kind of software doesn't work right away pain. bro, if software doesn't work, I will either make it work, find a workaround, or I don't know, code something myself so it will do what I want it to do. But the idea to go back to a platform that I don't like and that I don't stand behind morally is just completely absurd to me. So yeah, maybe I'm a Linux evangelist or hardcore, I don't know. And mind you, I would not call myself like a super pro Linux user. I'm very simple in what I need. I mean, now and then I do a project and also enjoy hacking stuff. Of course, completely legal. What else would I do? And why would I say it on YouTube? I do a lot of programming, so for that, Linux is especially user-friendly. It's so easy to do any kind of programming that is not .NET, but you can do even that on Linux if you want to, and C# or stuff like that. But if you do, like me, if you do C and C++, Python and R, Linux is just perfect. It's just so sweet and so much easier than using Windows. And Apple, Apple was also okay for programming, but I didn't like the whole philosophy that it all looks the same. Like every Apple computer looks the same from inside and out. And this whole dropping stuff, the whole style of navigation on any Apple device, I just find it appalling. To me, it's completely counterintuitive because I am someone who wants to control the machine and not be led through some sort of weird structure that will then lead me to become a happy person. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't want to be guided. I want to see for myself. And I want to tweak a system in whichever way I please. I want to take away software that I do not like without the system malfunctioning. I want to use each and any piece of software that I enjoy. I don't want to feel like I have to ask the fucking operating system for permission before I do whatever the fuck I want with it. And then also, Linux is kind of the most ethical choice for me. Not only is it helping me to be more sustainable, like I'm using older computers. All my last machines were refurbished, so the last computer I bought new was a ThinkPad X200, and that must have been in 2010 or 2009 or so. And after that, I never had a new computer. It's really interesting because a lot of my friends would actually say, oh, I would not trust the company to refurbish a computer, and you're brave for doing that. Like literally, they use the word mutig, which means brave in English. And I was like, no, I mean, I can see if the computer has an issue, so I'll figure that out and, claim warranty, so I don't get this problem. And simply by running Linux, I do not put as much of a load on the components as I would did I use Windows. And I can see that whenever I have an older computer and I set it up with the new Linux, I could not put the newest Windows on those. I mean, I might also not be able to put a very glossy Linux on it, but the latest Debian and Arch versions were running on my old ThinkPads pretty fine until recently. So it's not the fastest computer, of course, but it's working. And Windows 11 would not run on it because Windows 11 is just completely over the top at this point. And frankly, I don't need it. For what? What I want to do with it? I wouldn't even know what to do with the Windows at this point. Like, I'm just reading my emails and doing programming anyway. What would be the point in using Windows for that? I don't know. And some photo editing, of course, and, video and stuff. But yeah, I just don't see the point in ever going back. I don't see myself using anything other than Linux for the rest of my life. And I hope that some of you are already thinking about switching. Maybe this motivates you to come to the dark side. We have really crappy wine and also cookies, which I cannot feed you through this camera, but I'm gonna share my favorite cookie recipe in the pinned comments, so have some cookies. Not on your computer though, you don't need those, so delete those. Fuck, I'm drunk. What's the topic again? I'm not that drunk, but I've drunk and ADHD, bad mix. Oh yeah, well, I'm never gonna quit Linux.